So here we are again talking about Code Vein, and this time we're going to talk about the DLC because it was announced that the DLC content for Code Vein would drop in early 2020, so we can expect it to be during Q1 of 2020, meaning from January to the end of March. Anyways, I'm here to talk about the DLC content because after playing the update for Code Vein, the new update, the Tower of Trials things, I wanted to share some of my concerns with the game and some of my gripes that I really have with this game and that I wish would just disappear. So, here's the thing. The DLC content for Code Vein was there was leaks about it. There was a lot of leaks that can be somewhat, I don't necessarily believe in leaks all the time, but I think these leaks are kind of believable because of what happens in the story of Code Vein. So we are apparently going to fight aragamis in the DLC of Code Vein, and some of the aragamis that were leaked were the Hannibal, which is a dragon, kind of serpent type of enemy. It's a giant dragon and it has an arm guard, punches a lot, has a lot of white sweeps, has a lot of AoEs, crazy movement. So we're gonna fight that thing. And the other one is going to be the Marduk, which is kind of a wolf, fire wolf type of enemy. So there's a lot of things that could happen. It can be a good boss fight, it can be really enjoyable boss fights, but I'm leaning more towards the idea that it's going to be trash. Not because I just want to rant on Code Vein, but because of the way they made a boss fight, which is the Virgin-born boss fight, the final boss of Code Vein. The Virgin-born, if you haven't played God Eater, the Virgin-born is a very similar concept to the aragamis, because the entire body of the Virgin-born is not consistent in terms of weaknesses, meaning that there are specific weak points on the Virgin-born, and in this case it's going to be the front part of its body, meaning the front legs and the head, and maybe the torso, the front part of the torso is going to be its weak points. Now, the problem with the Virgin-born is that the Virgin-born moves a lot. It moves a lot. It's an annoying boss fight. Not fun at all. It has a lot of AoEs, a lot of white sweeps. Like I said, that's very similar to bosses from God Eater as well. And the thing is, the Virgin-born is a really annoying boss fight because we do not have the mobility options to reach for its weak points all the time. We do not have the mobility options or even the stamina system of a game like God Eater to hug the boss and constantly deal damage to it. That's a really big issue, and if the origami boss fights are going to be the same way, then it's going to be really boring. It's going to be a really trash DLC, unfortunately. Maybe not trash DLC because the rest of the content is going to be nice, but the main point, the boss fights, are going to be absolute garbage, and I don't want that to happen. But I'm really concerned with how they have been handling things, especially after seeing the Tower of Trials where everything can one-shot you with a bunch of unreactable moves. I'm not really too happy about it. And I rant a lot. I say a lot of bad things about the Tower of Trials, but I should praise the developers for doing a good job at least making the right group of enemies. Like, they made the groups way more like fair than they would in the actual game, like in the actual story of the game. And I want to talk about actually our player character. I want to talk about things that I hate about not the controls of Code Vein, but the gameplay aspects of it, the mechanics that the game has. So one of my biggest gripe, I think all of you who watch my video actually know this, I hate the regeneration ability. I hate it so much. That's the healing system in this game is so bad. Health management it's pretty much 0 out of 10. So the problem with their regeneration ability is that it is too slow to recover from it. We know when to use it. However, when you use it is when an enemy is done attacking. Like an enemy is using a weird string of attacks, you dodge the string and you are in the back of the enemy. They are still not looking at you, they are still attacking on the other side, and you're actually healing yourself. That's when you use the regeneration ability, right? However, because your recovery is too slow, the enemy is done attacking over there. They're done, and they are already looking at you, ready to hit you again, and you're not done recovering from the animation. That's the part that I hate, because I know that I'm going to get hit for the same amount that I've been healing for, or even more. That's the part I hate about that regeneration ability, and I wish that would go away. The thing that we should cancel is not the startup animation. The thing that we should be able to cancel is the recovery animation, because it is unnecessarily too long, and it's a punishing mechanic. Actually, it's a punishing mechanic. I don't like it. I wish it was just faster. Like, why not just make it faster, you know? And when I say faster, it's only about the recovery. It's just about the recovery. There's no issue with the startup animation being slow, because that's the mechanic of this type of game. In the Souls-like games, you have to choose your moment to heal. You have to choose your moment to use items. It's normal. But it's not normal to get me stuck in an animation and get me punished for playing well. That's the issue that I have. I hate it. Oh man, I hate that ability. But it's not the only thing that I hate about Code Vein. When we talk about health management, when I say that, it's because there's also the damage output in Code Vein. So, for example, in the Tower of Trials, which is, you know, our most recent thing that was added, the damage output is pretty huge. Like, the enemies would hit you for, like I said, 70 to 80%. It's a lot of freaking damage. You get killed sometimes one shot. There was this time where I have like 2900 health, like a full 2900 health, full health gauge. I get hit and I die in a single attack, just one shot. I'm not allowed to take a hit in Code Vein, and that's an issue. And in fact, there's also moves that don't make sense. Alright, there are moves that make no sense at all. You have the Dark Knights, you know, the modified Revenants by Mido. You have the ones with the bayonets. So those enemies, they have like 3 moves. The first move is going to be like a double swing with the blade on the gun, you know. The second move is going to be a kick, and the third move is the gunshots. They shoot generally like 3 times. Here's the thing: the bullets would kill you after 3 shots, I think, and then the kick would kill you in 1 shot. So let me make this let me make this clear. We are talking about an enemy that is a ranged enemy, meaning that its best position is when it's far away from you, so that it can shoot you. First of all, the bullet from that enemy is extremely slow. However, it has an insane tracking, and it has the ability to predict your movement. That is weird, but let's say that's okay. Alright, why is it killing only in 3 shots, while a kick would kill you in 1 shot? The kick is supposed to be the move of that enemy that would allow it to create space between you and them, so that you don't harass them as much. That's the only purpose of that. That should be the only purpose of that kick. But it's not the case. The kick would kill you in 1 freaking shot, compared to the guns, to the bullets. How does that make sense? Can we agree that there's a problem there? Now, the third thing that pisses me off about Code Vein, about the combat, is the stamina. The stamina in this game, it's not the worst. honestly, the worst case of stamina management I've seen in a game was it was probably Neo, and still the reason why I don't like Neo. I know a lot of people like that game, but I don't like the fact that you give the ability to the player to do a bunch of things, but because of the ability system, not the ability, but because of the stamina system in that game, the game is just a hit and run type of game. You have a bunch of options, but it's just a hit and run type of game. I hate that. It's so contradictory. I don't like that. It's like it's not working well together, and it seems like the game should just not have a stamina gauge, to be honest. But in Code Vein it's different. In Code Vein, your stamina is a bit more generous. You are allowed to do a lot more things. However, the problem with the stamina in Code Vein is that it's very restrained. There's a lot of restrictions around the stamina gauge, in the sense that when you are trying to hug the boss, when you're trying to really bully the boss, and you're trying to apply pressure on it, and you know your stamina is limited, you know that, okay, I'm running out of stamina, I need to get out, and you need to get out and wait to regenerate stamina. Sometimes you don't just regenerate stamina, you're waiting. And how you're waiting in Code Vein? You're waiting by buffing yourself using items, or healing yourself. The thing is, buffing using gifts in Code Vein puts a limit. It stops your stamina recovery. It completely stops it. If you use an item, it slows down your stamina recovery. If you switch weapon, it slows down your stamina recovery. If you heal yourself, it slows down your stamina recovery. And the result of all of this is that when you wait in Code Vein to recover stamina, you wait for extremely long. You wait for so long. It slows down the combat so much, and it takes away so much of the action. Like, it's so boring the way it is, because you have to wait extra long. When I say waiting, when I say you're still waiting, the boss is also attacking you. So as you're waiting, you're dodging the moves of the boss, meaning that you're always wasting your stamina, because the game doesn't want you to restore your stamina when you're buffing. So I have a lot of issues with the combat of Code Vein. Still, there are still a lot of things that I don't like about this, honestly, and I wish they would change, but I don't think they will. And I'm not sure how they will handle the boss fights with the aragamis and all that stuff. I'm kind of worried about that. I just hope that things will be good. I just hope that things will be okay, and we'll be able to have an enjoyable time, because this game can be enjoyable. Like, there are boss fights that I just really love. I love fighting the Queen's Knight Reborn. Even though I get mad when I play against him, I love the boss fight against Mido. I love it. Even though he has a one-shot mechanic, I love it because he's fair. He's slow. Yes, he's very slow, actually. You can see a lot of his moves coming. You know they are coming. And he doesn't always one-shot. And I would say that his hitbox is kind of fair most of the time. So I like that boss fight. But my favorite boss fight by a mile, my favorite boss fight is always going to be Gilded Hunter. Hopefully, like I said, the DLC would be nice. Hopefully they will tweak some of the mechanics of Code Vein, and maybe we will be able to have a bit of fun when the DLC comes out, and not having to fight against our own mechanics. That's the only thing I hope that will happen. But yeah, anyways, been rambling a lot. I'm kind of tired of rambling, so thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Always cover Code Vein, always play all types of games and anime games if you want. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, all in the description below. Instagram, Twitter, Artstation. Maybe support me on Patreon if you want for $1. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.